All right, welcome everyone. I hope you had a great weekend at boot camp in Hong Kong, and you're all back in Singapore, Malaysia, wherever you are. Um, I can't seem to go to my next slide. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just welcome to everyone who's new to the call tonight. So this is our weekly Monday night call, 10 p.m. Singapore time. Today we have a very special guest speaker, and we moved the meeting to Tuesday since we had boot camp. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay. I need to go back. Okay. Oh, technical difficulty. Max, what's happening? My screen is black.
Oh no! Hi. Now James has to dance to make.
Oh, okay. I think it's a bit lagged. Is it okay if I just use the slides like this because it's a bit?
But later slide 5 is gonna be some issues here, but it's okay, I guess.
Okay. So just to give you an idea of what this call is about, it's a 30-minute call every Monday night with a different guest speaker, director and above, and they come and share their story and do a little bit of training. And as you already know, all of the resources that we have, our OneBigTeamInternational.com website, as well as all the Facebook groups and the One Big Team YouTube channel. And for new members, we welcome you to the team. And please make sure that you've downloaded your Dream Trips app from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. And also, really, really important, please go and book your welcome Dream Trip within your first 90 days of signing up so that you get your special price and go and experience our culture. And lastly, be part of all the team activities, stay close to the campfire. We have these Monday night calls so that you can dial in from anywhere that you are. And all of these calls are recorded and archived onto the OneBigTeamInternational.com website. So tonight we have a very special guest, our, Asia 001, Mr. James Lee, who was one of our amazing trainers this weekend. He had some amazing sharing and training that he gave us this weekend, and I was so excited to see him on stage. It's really surreal when you see him on stage, with 13,000 people, and you know him running around in Singapore. It's just like a very different feeling, but it's awesome to see James on stage and share with us his story. So without further ado, James, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Christina, for being a great host, and being a big, huge supporter and team player in this whole One Big Team strategy and how we actually start building this for everybody around the world on WorldVentures. I mean, really, thanks, Max, for putting this together as well so that all of us benefit all together as one big team. And really, I must say that, of course, most of you on this call maybe already know who I am, and I've been in this business for almost coming to 6 years now. But of course, whoever is new onto our business, just join us. You're listening in. Welcome to this incredible platform that we all have the same goal, same dream. We basically want more freedom in our life. We want to have time freedom, financial freedom. And in fact, I must say that I was when I was a naval officer from Singapore Navy for 12 years, I always want to do more. Not that I'm not doing anything while I was in the Navy, but the thing is, I want to have eventually I want to have freedom. I want to be able to travel the world. I want to see the world. I want to do a lot of things with people, that are closest to me, friends, family, and everything, to create those wonderful memories, doing everything together. But the thing is, everyone's working so hard all their lives, including myself. In fact, I look at my parents, my auntie, my uncle, people before us, they are working hard all their lives. But every time when I see someone, I mean, I don't want really to go down that road, when people work so hard in life, and then the time every year is shortening, our lives, and if we don't accomplish and do what we always wanted to do, that's where I really want to live life full out. So I would say every one of us on this call, we all possibly want the same thing, right? We want to be able to really explore life to the maximum. But how often do we have that opportunity, stumble across something that is so simple, something that I wouldn't say easy, but it's definitely simple to accomplish and to do. And when something is so simple that it's easily duplicatable, okay. So, and that is, I would say, when I saw this about almost 6 years ago through Eric Allen, the person, my sponsor, forever grateful to him that he actually found me and we chatted. He showed me some information. I like what I see. I mean, in fact, earlier on, I was sharing with some of the guests here in Singapore. I asked a fundamental question. First thing I always ask people: do you like what you see? Because when I first saw WorldVentures, I like what I see. It's not a matter of whether can I do it or not in the first instant. Because if I don't like what I see, then no matter how much people tell me to do it or push me to do it, I won't want to do it, right? So I always ask people, do you like what you see? And most often, I mean, I've been doing this for the last almost 6 years now. Like I said, up to this point, I've never actually found somebody or speak to somebody after they look at this, they say they don't like what they see.
Yes.
Most people like what they see, but a lot of times people don't have that courage to actually plunge in because they put too much self-limiting kind of beliefs onto themselves, thinking if they can accomplish it or whether they can do it or whatever. And which is why having a system like this is so important, and it will help so many people. Because when I first saw this, I mean, there's nobody around me, when I first saw it, I mean, Eric, I mean, thank God for having an incredible, system like this, as in technology, that we could connect people all around the world together, like what we are exactly doing right now. And because of technology, makes the world seem so small. People can connect all around the world. And I just went around. I know this is something I like, and then there are people around me who are making it happen. All I need to do is to duplicate and learn what they did to be successful. So I just have one thing in mind when I first started. I don't care if people around me wants to do it, but I know out there that there are enough people out there who wants what I wanted, or who see it just like I did. So I told myself I just have to go out there and find enough of those people that are just like me. So that's why I'm always excited, because if I'm not excited, if I'm down or whatever, then I'll be attracting those people into my life. So I always ask myself, who do I want in my life? I want people who are positive, people who are happy, people who are excited about life. So therefore, the likes attract the likes. So I have to be one of those people too. So then I will be able to attract the people that I want, right? So that's the first premise that I told myself from day one. And then at the same time, I always tell and verbalize what I think. And I always say only the positive stuff, because I want to send positive messages out to the universe, because it's like a boomerang. It will just turn back. It will come back to you. So I will always only say positive things. And that's why I only attract positive stuff into my lives. Whatever negative, I want to spin it back into positive, because I just want positive stuff into my life. I will never, ever want to have anything that is negative. So I block that out straight away. So I think across the whole entire 5-6 years, that's very obvious, and to me, and that's why I would never, want to get to the negative mindset or whatever. And in WorldVentures, sorry.
What do you do when you come across a negative person? Or, I mean, you must go through, you're human too, you must go through times when, you're down, or especially in the beginning when you're working so hard and you're facing a lot of challenges. And what happens when a certain negativity starts creeping up in you? What are some of the steps that you took? What are some of the actions that you took, and the kind of course correction or the auto correction you do in your mindset that helps you get out of any negative feeling?
Right. I would say, yeah, thanks Chris for bringing this up and getting me to go right deep, dive into that. I would say I'm human. You're right. All of us are human beings. You know, there are times where, you know, our mood swings, you know, we will want to like, oh, how do I get out of this situation? I mean, I always relate that to like in a quicksand, right? I mean, if you are always sitting in that situation, it's like you're putting yourself into a quicksand. And the longer you stay in that situation, the deeper you're going to sink. So personally, I will never even allow myself to immerse myself in a negative situation for more than like 15, 30 minutes. You know, 30 minutes is the max. You know, if I want to like really feel low, down or whatever, I know I have a 30-minute time span. You know, but then the moment I hit that, I mean, the quicker I get myself snap out of that situation, I mean, the easier I get myself plucked out. So every time when I know that there's some negativity around me or is sipping into my life or whatever, I will actually just make sure that I make that effort to get out of it. I stop thinking about it. I start looking into positive stuff. You know, it's like the news. I mean, if you keep like kind of dwelling yourself into a negative position, looking at all the sad news and all that stuff. I mean, if you really want to try it, which is a danger zone, you can try it. I mean, keep reading the newspaper, keep looking at all the gloom and the loom kind of situation. You will find yourself so hard that you can actually get yourself back up again. So personally, I would never even allow, I know that's my danger zone. I know that is the red light flashing. I would never even get close to it. You know, I will look for positive stuff around me that's happening, you know, and I quickly grab things that I like, I love to do, and I will just get myself back out, you know.
So do you
That's
immerse
how I
yourself
protect it.
in, wow. So do you immerse yourself in, like, were there certain books that you read, or do you go to YouTube, start listening to videos or audios? What kind of personal development did you do in the beginning when you started this journey?
Right. Which is, I would say, of course, if you're not in WorldVentures, that you can have look at generic stuff, motivational YouTube clips and all that stuff. But what actually really helped me in WorldVentures, because although in the beginning when I first started, that we don't have a lot of videos, materials and all that stuff, but there are people who have made their videos on their dream trips. WorldVentures did some videos and all those stuff, which is every time I'll play it, I'll watch it, I'll look at all the happy people, I'll look at all the high energy, you know, event, you know, and stuff like that. So I imagine and I put myself there. I mean, I just like immerse myself in that kind of environment. I look at people on a dream trip, you know, I look at all these people, positive, Marcus Setter, I look at like Matt Morris, I look at all these people who are living the life that I wanted. So it's like I'm trying to play a trick on my own mind, you know, right in the beginning. So which is why you see those people who are always immersing themselves with all our culture, information, and everything, you'll see that they kind of created like a shield around ourselves, like an aura that is put position around us. That is to me like a protecting film that helps us. So that's what I do, you know, in the beginning.
True Blue James. And do you remember, was there any book that you read when you were starting out in your WorldVentures?
I would say that I have, it's not that in WorldVentures that I started doing this kind of exercises, because I was, you know, about 10 years plus ago when I first, in fact, almost 15, 16 years ago when I first started into network marketing, you know, looking into this industry. I have already been reading lots of books about the mindset and the attitudes and all the stuff in network marketing. And on top of that, I was a naval officer, so I went to all the leadership classes and schools and everything. So kind of my mind is kind of already conditioned in a way. And at the same time, before WorldVentures, I was already being hit multiple times, and emotionally, in terms of the business entrepreneur journey, the hardship and everything. So I was bankrupt, and when I was bankrupt, I didn't like go way down in my mood and everything, and self-victimizing myself, self-pity or whatever. So I never actually, kind of my mindset is already conditioned, and I look upon myself as if God puts me in this position because I just want to get me stronger, my muscle in my mindset bigger, so that I could handle future challenges and everything. So kind of like I'm already at the rock bottom. So when I saw WorldVentures, I saw a glimmer of hope. I saw the light. I saw this is something that I want to make it right, make it work, make it happen, and lead literally thousands, if not millions of people around the world by giving them hope. So I have kind of like conditioned my mind that way to make it work. Yeah.
Right. James, can we just go back to some basic things
Sure.
now that we started with something that's a little bit more advanced, like mindset, which is really super important for what we're doing with our business and everything that we aspire to. But let's go back to the beginning. What did you actually do to get your 4? I'm sure that people know your story in the beginning, how you got started. But what did you do to actually get your 4? What are some of the steps that you took? Where did you begin? Who did you look for?
In fact, my first instant when I got started, I know that I have to get 6. I didn't get 4. First and foremost, I didn't even target just 4. In fact, my mind is I'm going to get as many as I can. But I know that if I were to get 6, I will actually prove to myself that it is real, it worked. And also at the same time, I want to create a story to tell people that, hey, look, I know it's real because I make it work. So I target 6. So in fact, how I did it was because before that, I know that in order for us to do network marketing in the best way, network marketing is not about sales. I mean, if anyone think that, because I'm a good salesperson or I have the background of sales and things like that, therefore I will excel in network marketing, I would say that on the contrary, it actually may be a stumbling block, because in network marketing, it's not about how good a salesperson you are, it's how good a connector you are, and how good you can connect people to the information, and that's primarily the most important skill or thing you need to do in the beginning. So I know that I'm not here to sell, I'm not here to present, I'm here to connect. So all I did in the beginning was that, okay, I need to find enough people in front of the information. And I'm not even the one presenting it. I got Eric Allen to set up a webinar, just like pretty much like what we are doing right now. And I invited people to say, hey, look, I have something incredible. I want you guys to take a look at it. And I have the best person all the way from US. You got to take a look at it. I mean, or you can say I've got a best person that I invited onto a call or whatever, some pretty much like this. And then I get all these people in front of the information. That is the only thing that I was focusing on. I don't care if that person say yes and don't show up. I just know that I need to invite enough people to look at it. So it's like almost like I invited tons of people. I can't even remember how many people I sent out the invite to. I called, I text, I emailed. I basically just want people to get in front of the information. So I must have gotten like almost 20 people who say yes, they are interested. Yes, they will come. They register for it. But in the end, I know that it's the laws of the numbers, right? So not everyone showed up, but I have at least about almost 10 people showed up. They look at the information, some drop off the call, some stay on the call, and then after the whole call, that is where I come back in. So after the call, I just have to text all these people who showed up, whom I know who they are, and I just tell them, hey, look, now you know why I'm so excited. I'm looking for people who catch on the same vision as me. I'm going to take this on. I'm going to blow this up. Who is coming on board? If you are not, it's okay. 15 minutes. Let me know yes or no. I'm going to move on. So because I just went out and tell everybody the same thing, those who see the excitement that I have and the certainty that I have put on the table, those people who wants this and they see it the way I saw it, they want it, they say yes. So when they say yes, I just put them into the thing. So I would say just out of that first exercise alone, I signed up 5 people.
Wow.
So out of the 10 who actually went in, half of them said yes. I mean, and then I went down to work on that 5, and I didn't stop at that 5. And one of the most important mindset and principle that anyone must have if you first start in this business is that you can't say that I'm going to get 4, and once you get 4, or I'm going to get 6, I'm done. You have to go on and on and on. Just keep running. It's like a marathon. It's just like you just keep running like no tomorrow. You just keep showing and you just don't stop. Because when you stop and then you start, what if the people say yes and then later they are not doing anything, right? So you are like hinging all your hope onto a few people, where you have so many more people out there who can actually bring the same thing to the table. So I just keep moving and keep moving and keep moving. I've never stopped. So and the other thing that I know in network marketing is not just how good or how great you are to connect people, it's also how well you can duplicate.
Right.
If you want people to duplicate what you do, and if you keep running and you get enough people to keep running like you did, so then that's where you get a huge organization. So it's not about stopping. And yeah, anything in life, I mean, if you want something, you can't stop. I mean, of course, people said, well, if that's the case, then isn't it just like anything else? I said, yes. I mean, what makes you think that doing WorldVentures is anything different? I mean, we are living our life. I mean, are you going to say that you hit an IMD, then it's time for you to die? You know, it's not. I mean, life still goes on. There's still lives going on. There's better things to do, and there's lots of things to do. So it's like a constant movement that you're always continually working. I mean, I do WorldVentures. It's not just I want to hit IMDs, not just I want to hit $1 million a year. I want to change the world. I want to constantly help more people gain what I gain. You know, I want to, now that I'm blessed, I want to bless more people, right? So it's a constant thing that we are continuous working on it. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, I look at like our late Lee Kuan Yew is the same. I mean, he achieved so many milestones in his life, but till the day that he died, he's still working. He's still going out there to impact the world. He's still going out there to do changes to the world. I mean, every leaders in this world, anyone significant in this world, they're always constantly contributing back to the world, the society, everything. So I look upon myself like, I mean, I can't claim that I'm anyone like all these people, but I just want to do what they are doing. So if we can enough people doing that, this world is definitely a better world.
Definitely. We've got one question actually. Can I ask quickly?
Sure.
They want to know what was your biggest obstacle that you faced since the first day that you joined and how you overcame it.
The biggest thing that to be honest, I've never seen anything bigger. Meaning that everything that comes to me, I will find ways and means to actually go through it. But of course, a very significant thing is that in the beginning, even at this point, I must say anyone doing it, your first time starting WorldVentures or looking into this, it will be the same thing that people don't believe that this is true, that people think that it's too good to be true. Are you sure? And all that stuff. So how I get around it is because of my own certainty. I'm not being swayed by people telling me this will never work or whatever. And what I always use to handle that personally and internalizing it myself, or I want to say it and make people understand, is that it will happen, just not yet. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a question if it's ever going to happen. It's just not yet. So that's why, to me, it's how we condition our own mind.
Going back to the mindset.
That's it's all worked out to the mindset. It's like climbing the Kilimanjaro, right? So even when we were climbing it, our portal, our guide was telling us has nothing to do with how much training you have done. It's not about how fit you are. It's how your mind works. You know, if you tell yourself you can do it, it can be done. If you say that it's too hard or whatever, then it's hard. Then you will never accomplish it. So I think really what I saw in WorldVentures that can help so many people. I'm not saying that everybody is going to get that, but those who actually have that mindset to change, mindset to excel, mindset to outgrow themselves, you will succeed no matter how long it takes. But a lot of people don't even get there because they gave up.
Right, the mindset.
Yeah.
So, James, we're running out of time a bit. We've got some announcements. So could we just, as one of our boot camp instructors, can you give us some concrete marching orders of what we should be doing in the next week to next month as we build for the next upcoming RTE and the View in September? What activities should people be doing and focusing on to get to wherever they need to get to in the next couple of months?
Right. I would say that for anyone, not just in this boot camp, but every single training, when people actually come right out of that training, you have to actually start putting effort on like inviting, because you need to re-engage. You got to invite people. You got to, no matter, unless you're telling me that, okay, it's done, you know, I just want to feel good and that's about it, then okay, you can do nothing. But if you want to take advantage of the whole event, yourself, the teams or whatever, then you got to really go out there and massively invite. Because if you don't invite, and of course you can think, oh, how can I do my presentation better? How can I actually do closing better? All that stuff, you can say it, but if you don't invite any new prospects, people in front of the information, it still boils down to nothing. So how many and I will always tell myself after the event, how many people am I showing? Am I showing more than before? Before that whole emotions cool down and all that stuff, I have to remind myself, how many people am I showing? I would rather, if I'm going to show 5 people in this week, usually before an event, now after the event, I want to show 5 people in today. You get what I mean? So I want to use that energy and charge it up, and so that I can literally show more people faster because of the energy, because of the emotions that I got out of that before it kind of like fades off. So I want to do it as fast as I can and pack as many meetings within that shortest period of time. And because once you actually within that first week, anything after that first week, it's almost like you lose that momentum, right? I still remember after my first boot camp, you know, the very next day I went out, I get Gurmit, you get what I mean? And then once Gurmit is in, I got him to bring people to me the very next day, you know? So it's like I'm riding on that emotions and that momentum, and then just keep running. And you sprint the fastest during that 1 week. And then from that 1 week, you get your personal, and then you start working through their contacts, you start working through that network, you know, and then the next 3 weeks, 1 month to 8 weeks is that best time for you to blow out that team and blow out your organization. And I will not let myself out of that time frame, because if anything out of past that time frame, you got to kind of like wait for the next kind of big training event or whatever before you get charged again. So, and it's not just you charging up, it's people around you getting charged up. And I would say whoever runs the fastest after a big training like this, you have a window to actually literally blow up your team.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, James. It was such a pleasure to be able to interview you tonight. What an honor.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
And it's always such a pleasure to talk to you. So we're just going to wrap up the call now. I know that Max is going to help with some of the announcements. But as we were talking about, the next big event coming up in Asia is going to be September 23rd to the 25th in KL. But unfortunately, the event actually sold out within what, 3 days?
Less than 3 days,
Less
gosh.
than 3 days. So what you need to do is, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, please speak to your leaders, speak to your team to see if you can get any spare
What
tickets floating
Okay, what
around.
I know I got from Mark is they're working on, maybe they can actually get another 1,000 tickets,
Okay.
1,000 seats. They're working on that, and if that's possible, they're actually working on an overflow room that could bring in another 2 or 3 thousand. I don't know yet, but that is, at least you guys can prepare for it. But one of the things that I want to take this opportunity to just say it, because right now Asia, we don't have enough venues could handle over 15,000 people, not even 13. Okay, we are
Yeah.
very limited in Asia to actually have a event hall that could actually fill up, that could go up above 13 or 15,000, let alone like 18 or 20,000. Okay, we have one in Singapore for 55,000, which I don't see we can do it this time, but very near future. I think if we would have said, hey, this event, we're going to fill up 55,000 and you want to be part of it, I think we can already fill that up. But, but till that time, right now, every time when there's an event coming up, when we launched it in Asia, you should be the first people to book it, no matter what, and get your team to understand that, because we are no longer having, imagine this is like 3 months down the road. We sold that out in 3 days.
Yeah.
The first 3 days. I can't even imagine, going forward with all these events, and the company is looking at how do we actually do, like, maybe overflow rooms or whatever. How do we get around these issues? Just bear with the company. We are working on it. But yeah.
It's a happy problem to have.
It is, yeah.
So Max, do you want to come on board and tell some of our members who were not able to go to boot camp about the announcements?
Yeah, sure. But before that, I would like to actually emphasize on the importance of going training, right? If can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and
Okay,
clear.
cool. Okay, for those who are not in the boot camp, seriously, unfortunately, this is a much smaller arena. Kuala Lumpur Stadium, Malawati. That's why that 1,000 tickets is good news for us. Thanks, James, and we are really, ready to click the button to buy more tickets, because seriously, the view, in my personal opinion, is the pinnacle of all trainings in WorldVentures. You ask any IMDs and above, they will tell you that if you have not gone for the view, you have not joined WorldVentures before, right? Yep. So you got to be there for the next training. One of the key thing that James, if you don't mind, you can chip in also, is the announcement of the RBS, the Representative Business System fee itself. Because as you know that we are all doing business, we are business owners, partnering up with WorldVentures, and with WorldVentures growing very fast, very rapid across Asia itself, they realize the importance of having offices and infrastructures throughout Asia and Europe and even Africa itself, and of course Australia, definitely, rather than remotely control from Dallas. James, being the pioneer, saw that being a disadvantage, really encouraged the company to do that, and they realized the success model in Hong Kong. They decided to actually, with James' help and advice, they decided to do it. They realized that, thanks to Brexit, the cost of things going up, property prices, rental going up, and that's where that, and they can't settle for lousy. They have to settle for the best, because we deserve the best. And they got pretty much a small office in Hong Kong. Guess what? They got filled up on the third day, if I remember correctly. And that's where that you're right, James. And that's where that they realized that they need bigger office, and that's why the Asia HQ, they got 42-story, fantastic view, big offices, 2 units, pretty sizable training center, which we filled up in a week's time or something like that. They got a new Hong Kong office and 3 times bigger than the size now. They got a Malaysia office, and they're gonna get an Australia office in Sydney. They're gonna get in Europe. They're gonna set up a HQ there, and all this takes a lot of money. Okay, everyone should agree with me, right? And it doesn't come cheap. If it goes to Suntec office, you will see $1 million view, I call it. You know, you're overseeing Marina Bay, overseeing a pretty nice view. I call it $1 million view, right? And that's where they realize that they need to actually everyone's help to chip in a little bit, $5. Is that correct, James?
Yeah, it's $5 increase on the rep fee, monthly rep fee. But the thing is, if you think about it, is, I mean, thanks Max for laying that on the table, so that at least people know why there's a request on that increase. But not only that, what about the people that there are more stuff coming on board, you know, and that we are actually getting more and more talented people. We want to attract the best talent, you know, around the world to actually create a world-class platform, you know, in technology, in terms of the whole infrastructure building, you know, and everything. So if you look at it, this is no longer just a small little company with a couple of people working. This is a huge, you know, corporation, a global company, and we as we expand into all these different regions, we have our GMs, we have our eventually we will run it into like different countries with different P&Ls, you know, and everything. So there's a lot of infrastructure set up. And also we want to attract the best talents. So all of us, you know, as a business owner, you know, as a representative, paying a $5 increase of what we are paying right now. It means that if people are paying $11 before, you will pay $16. If you're paying $15 right now, you'll pay basically $20, right? So, and this thing is going to start not right now, but we have about a lead time of up to 1st of August. So it's across the board, everybody in Singapore and Hong Kong at this point. I know that is actually going to get this increased, and then Malaysia, Taiwan is going to stay, you know, at this point. Okay, well, they're going to announce that also into US is going to raise as well, you know, so they are going to go across the whole entire world, you know, and basically get all the representatives to understand this. I mean, of course, if you got your 4 sales, you're not paying, then it really doesn't affect you. So for those of you who have not gotten your 4, you know, as a business, I mean, think of it this way. If today I set up a cafe, I have to pay my rental. Whether I like it or not, every month I will have to pay my rental, right? So whether you make business or not, you have to pay your rental. So as a business owner, my rep fee is like a rental, right? It's like a rental fee, but over here you pay the fee so that you get all the customer service support, you get the people working for us on our behalf, you know, creating all those trips, you know, creating all the future of the company and stuff like that. So you are paying literally less than $20 a month, all right, for that. But if you actually kind of like make 4 sales, all right, just 4 sales, you actually waive your monthly subscription on your rep fee. So I think it's a pretty good deal. I mean, you can either take it as, oh, why they increased that $5? Why don't you take it as, wow, that's a bigger push for you to get 4 sales now, right? So again, it's everything. It's boils down to what you put in your mind.
Yep, they're right. I mean, seriously, even if it's $20 compared to, you know, the couple of $1,000s to rent a place, to set up a business, so what is $20? Even if it's $200, come on, man, for international business, that's really on the low side. That's it for the RBS. But what is more exciting, seriously, is this new member promotion that is announced in Bootcamp itself. What the promotion is about, you're going to be so excited. The new member, not the referral, the new member who sign up between this period until 26th of August is going to actually receive a 50% more Dream Trip points based on their initial fee upon their second month fee. So you know, this is on their second month, they pay up their monthly fee, and literally they get a 50% more. So this is the next slide will show you in kind of like a chart on how it actually works. So you see, when you become your friend become Dream Trip Platinum, they will receive 300 points upon, you know, awarded initial membership payment. But when they pay out their second monthly fee, they're gonna get an additional 50%, which means for Dream Trip Platinum, it's 150 points. Wow, which I believe that they can use it immediately, right, James?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. You know, and then if you're a Gold member, you know, we love Gold and Platinum. Either way, it doesn't matter. You know, they get an additional 100 points itself, which this is super awesome. You know, it gives you more points to go on more trips, and that's one thing that I personally, I don't know about you guys, but I personally find that is so in line with WorldVentures mission, you know, vision, because they want more people to have more fun, freedom, and fulfillment in life, and that means more travel and more points. They overload you with points is so that to make you want to go on more travel, you know, and that's very in line. You know, a lot of people actually say, how come they're giving me so much points? Is to make you think and feel that you need to go on more travel. Isn't that awesome, right? Yeah. So
in fact, sorry to cut you there, but the thing is, before that, we have a promotion that runs kind of for the referral. If I'm a member, I refer somebody, you know, I get my points, kind of more points for me. If I would imagine, if let's say Chris and Max here, they are my friend, and if I get them to get the membership, the company give me the points, you know, so that I can go out there and get more people to excite me. That is already a great kind of promotion, and the company has run that before, and the company is getting a lot of very good traction and sales having that promotion. Right now, with this promotion, I think we're just possibly going to even double that sales. Why? Because now, instead of me having the benefit myself, I'm going out there to share with my friends and excite them by saying that, hey, Chris, Max, if you sign up right now, you're going to get 50% more points than you would, you know, if you sign up right now. So why don't you sign up now? So basically it's the new person getting that excitement, and I'm getting excited because I can get them to say, wow, I mean, like, this is a great company, they give you more points than ever, so that you as a new member get to enjoy, and because of that, it actually helps close that deal much better. So I tell you, out of this whole promotion, we're gonna see like huge kind of sales generated for everybody.
Yep. That's right. So this promotion is so awesome. You know, it's like value for our friends itself. They better sign up faster because this is super awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Why do you want to leave the points on the table, right?
Yeah. Right. Okay, Christina.
Okay. So tomorrow night, actually, we have a boot camp review. So for those people who were not at boot camp, this would be a great opportunity for you to be able to come on to a Zoom webinar and hear some review of what we learned at boot camp, what we, you know, the announcements, the training, the kind of recap. So that's tomorrow night at 10 p.m. And the webinar ID is 885-885-134. And we also have one in Mandarin on Friday. So that's July 1st, again, at 10 p.m. And that webinar ID is here, 537-777-281. And then this is really exciting. So because of our one Monday night team call that has been so successful, and as you see, we've got over 100 people dialed in today, we're now launching the team call in Mandarin. And that will be our first speaker. Our guest sharer will actually be IMD Millie Leong. And the host will be Samantha from Singapore. So that will be on this coming Sunday at 10 p.m.
Yeah. Christina, right? Just back up one slide first.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, seriously, this is groundbreaking, and yeah, we got the legend Millie Leong, you know, with no contacts in Singapore, literally 2 only, you know, and she created that awesome team, over 30,000 members. across the world. And that is why you really need to plug into the first ever Mandarin team call itself. That's why we invited her, specially arranged her, because she is an awesome, she has 4 IMDs in her team. It's like she's an IMD producer, right? And not just that, international trainer. She trained in Momentum. Yes, Momentum. And she's the author of what I call the best-selling book itself. So you need to be on that team call itself, which is coming soon on the Sunday, right? Oops. Hi. Yeah.
There's Max.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, on Sunday. So that's this Sunday, right?
Yeah, this Sunday, 10 p.m.
Right.
10 p.m. 198477272. Those for those people.
We will send links out accordingly so that you don't need to memorize or
everything. So of course our English Monday night team call will continue back on Monday at 10 p.m. next Monday, and our next guest speaker is going to be Miss Lisa Head, marketing director from US. She's a regional trainer and one of the top female income earners in the US. So that's going to be a really power-packed call. So that's next Monday, 4th of July at 10 p.m.
So
pretty awesome. Yeah. Okay, we have reached the end, right?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient with us. I know we overran 17 minutes.
Oh, is that right? Oh, time flies.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun with James and Max.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Christina. Yeah.
Thank you,
so
James. Thank you,
Thanks,
Christina.
Max.
Thank you, everyone, for calling
Thank you,
in.
everybody.